storytelling. What's the point? So I think life is like a sandwich filling between two baps of infinity. I've made a diagram especially for you guys to demonstrate this. So there's many wondrous and amazing things in life, but on either side is these great chasms of infinite darkness. And I think it's the fact that life is so finite that people decide to document and share their experience of it through storytelling. So if you look at all kinds of art, there's storytelling in all of art, whether it's like theatre, music, painting, or sculpture. And that allows people to pass on their experience from generation to generation. And it's a successful thing, because like when we look at ancient civilizations, it's because of the art that they leave behind that we get to discover. We get an insight into like what life was like for them and what they believed in. Even if your storytelling is fiction, that's still a reflection of your reality, whether it's abstract or not. So here are a few abstract reflections that I made for Vice magazine. It's a series of 3-panel comics under the name Brain Noise, and I thought these 3-panel comics were a good way to sort of like show you how I approach storytelling, because it's quite a simple process. You've got like a clear beginning, middle, and end. So in the first frame, there's the setup. In the middle frame, there's like a chance to push the narrative and add another element. And then in the last frame, there's a punchline. So in this story, I use this character, Dick Nose Van Boobenchin, who I've been drawing since I was in college. And I like to use him in different roles and stuff. Like, I like to see him as like a versatile actor, and I'll drop him into different situations. Like sometimes he's white, sometimes he's black, like whatever works. So this time he's like a wizard scientist guy, and he's just made this Frankenstein bride by harvesting bodies, and he's finally brought her to life. And as he brings her to life, he gets a match on Tinder, and he's like, right, see you later. So he leaves her jilted and upset. This comic is about a kid mucking around in school with a propelling pencil and pretending it's a hypodermic needle and that he's doing heroin and stuff, which I'm sure you all did as well. And then in the punchline of the comic, he actually becomes a drug addict 10 years later and overdoses in a condemned building somewhere next to a candle. Here's Boobenchin again. He's playing a different character this time. He's playing a bloke that's consoling his mate who's going through a divorce, and he's in a bar getting drunk with him, and he says, look, there's plenty more fish in the sea. So he goes around to his mate's house the next morning to make sure he's all right and stuff, and he's getting sucked off by a fish. and he's like, it's not the same. And then in this one, this is a Halloween one that I did. A mum goes to her son, go make a pumpkin with your brother. So he goes to her brother, like, Mum said to make a pumpkin with you. So he makes a pumpkin out of his brother. I don't know how you're going to take this next one. She finds a human fetus in her eggs. It's the thing she least expected to be delicious. So I like to use humour as a mechanism in my storytelling. Humour. Why even bother? So biologists still aren't totally sure where laughter originated from, but like not 100% anyway. But like my favourite theory is that it derived from like an act of aggression, like when primate groups got bigger and like became more complex socially, it was like necessary for them to have like this expression. So I like that theory because I use humour in my storytelling to deal with, you know, adverse situations or harrowing subjects. So whether that theory of the derivation of laughter is true or not, like humour is definitely like an effective mechanism to combat adversity. I want to share with you like the process of making some of these stories and characters and stuff. Sometimes like I'll be lucky enough to just go about my daily business, and like I'll just see something funny and then that'll be a story, or like I'll just see a funny person, that'll be a character. But my favourite thing to do is to just sit down and draw, and then like eventually I'll come up with an idea for a story or like a new character, or maybe just like a new way of drawing a nose, or a funny sentence or scenario, like a kid trying to hit a piñata but killing his mate, or Pinhead from Hellraiser saying politely, "Can I have your soul, please?" I enjoy the irreverence in a sentence like "give peace a chance" or whatever, accompanied by an American soldier holding hands with a member of ISIS. What's so good about that? Well, because I have this approach to my personal work, I feel like it benefits my commercial practice too. So I'm going to use this V&A project as an example. The V&A do this thing called the Friday Lates, and they commissioned me to do the programme cover for the Shoreditch takeover. So the Shoreditch takeover was about like celebrating creatives coming out of Shoreditch and tech startups and stuff like that. So I decided pretty early on that I was going to like do a street scene and depict 2014 Shoreditch with a bit of humour. So there's a cat cafe there. There's a guy on his knees praying for Wi-Fi with a pug dog as well. There's a woman looking around for a boyfriend, but she can't find him because he's stuck in her butt. And there's a brain with like a stick and bindle that's just had enough of it all and it's wandering off. And there's a homeless guy asking, there's a homeless guy with a sign saying "follow for follow back," which I thought was appropriate, like an appropriate juxtaposition, because homeless people and tech startups coexist in Shoreditch. So there's a lot of little jokes and little narratives in there that take the piss, but I find that these make it overall as an image like more engaging and more interesting. And yeah, I use this a lot in editorial specifically because I find that often you're being asked to distill an article, which is like a story, into just one image. So these devices of like little bits of storytelling and humour make it that much easier for me. So that's my approach to storytelling. Thank you.